The cutoff was 30. I scored 30.5. एंड व्हेन आई सॉ द रिजल्ट मैम, मतलब मेरी हवा निकल गई थी मैम कि क्या कर दिया मैंने। अगर थोड़ा सा एक भी गलत होता तो मैं आज बैठा नहीं होता यहाँ पर मैम। इन 2023 व्हेन आई गेव फर्स्ट, सो इन दैट एट दैट टाइम आई took the exam week course. So I had the material of previous year, SEBI the primary one, and IBPS was my secondary. So these were two target, ma'am. So ma'am, I was working as a research associate at Allahabad High Court. So I used to read corporate law, security law. I was reading like newspaper also. I did give the mock Joe that was freely available on the exam website. So I used to score around 50 to 55. So basically, I was very disheartened at the beginning. So confidence is a thing that you have to gain out of these mock interviews.
Hello everybody, welcome to iExamB. Today we have Utkarsh with us. He has recently cleared SEBI exam as a legal officer. Congratulations Utkarsh from the entire iExamB team. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. So Utkarsh, tell us a little bit about your profile.
Ma'am, I'm Utkarsh. I come from Varanasi. I completed my LLB from Delhi University Campus Law Center in 2022. Ma'am, in the beginning, my target was judiciary. Till
Okay.
later, I switched to SEBI, and SEBI was becoming my prime goal. So I started preparing for SEBI in mid 2023 when the notification of 2023 came.
Okay. Okay. So initially Utkarsh आपका judiciary की side inclination था and then you switched to SEBI. Why and how? मतलब आपको SEBI के बारे में कैसे पता चला and why did you switch from judiciary to SEBI preparation?
Ma'am, when I joined law school, my goal, मतलब my ambition was कि to practice, मतलब मेरे को practice करना था. Then,
Hmm.
ma'am, in COVID time, things changed pretty much in the family. So I had to look for some job. So judiciary was one of the best option we have in the legal career होता है. तो उसमें judiciary was a main target. But judiciary was never excited me as such to study hard. Yeah, the job profile and the working, the growth and everything. So I did prepare for 6 to 8 months, and then, ma'am, as the vacancy are not frequent, so this was also a challenge. So I had to look for some option where the frequency of examination is much more higher, such as IBPS, SO, and CV. So I had two options, ma'am. That was first CV. So the
Hmm.
first examination that I gave was PFRDA, ma'am,
Okay.
in 2022 when my LLB got completed. So then and there, I was introduced to the SEBI because there was a provision with the SEBI and PFRDA. So, ma'am, so there I was introduced with the SEBI, and I like, matlab, फिर I have an interest toward financial and security market. So now, so then and there, so that I explored this opportunity and made my target as like SEBI the primary one, and IBPS was my secondary. So these were two target, ma'am.
Okay. And then you started your preparation. So there are many subjects. Well, let's talk phase wise and paper wise. What strategy you opted for and what sources you used for your preparation of SEBI legal examination. So let's start with phase one, paper one, and paper two.
Yes, ma'am. So paper one, ma'am, the phase one, paper one, ma'am. So that includes your GA and quant reasoning English. So, ma'am, for this, for GK, I used two PDF from and one was also exam B and one was from another platform. So for GA, I did this to, and I revised the PDF multiple times. And ma'am, secondly, for quantum reasoning, I did practice, although I did not get much time to practice. And ma'am, for English was pretty good. So English mein, I did well. And the law part is very easy in the phase one. Is if you read once or twice, even if you don't read, if you have studied in the law school, you will crack it. You will get 50 marks at least in the phase one ka paper two ka.
Okay. And what about your phase two preparation, both paper one and paper two?
Ma'am, so ma'am, the in 2023 when I gave, so my corporate law was weak, and ma'am, security law was new. So only the subject that I was aware with the criminal law. So that was a weak point, and that's why I was not able to get through. So this year, ma'am, I made sure कि I should get aware with the corporate law as well as security law. So I'm working as I was working as a research associate at Allahabad High Court. So I used to read corporate law, security law. I was reading like newspaper also, like Mint and everything, just to get aware of the terminologies and have a broader understanding. And then so it was all my Bear Act that I did, although I followed YouTube also. Ma'am, in 2023, when I gave first, so in that at that time I took the exam B course. So I had the material of previous year, although this year I haven't taken. This year I primarily used my Bear Act and revised it multiple times.
Okay. So, how did you practice for your phase one and phase two? Because there was descriptive in phase two, and even descriptive English was there. Even
Right.
objective part of phase two is a little bit tricky. So, how did you practice that corporate law, securities law, and criminal law part?
I did by myself, like timer laga ke. I used to do that. Uh, that was hard thing. Although this must have this had costed me in the examination also, ma'am. I was not able to clear that complete the phase two, paper one. That is the English or wo essay wala part and RC wala. I was not able to maintain the pace. So all the so ma'am that ma'am. So ma'am, so I used to practice. I used to give 55 minutes for completing all the three topics. And for the descriptive legal. I used to read notes. I used to read my LLB notes. I had the judiciary course also, so I used to refer that also. So from there I did it because you don't require much time because they give plenty time, like at least an hour they give. So you just need to have a understanding so that you can write. You will have enough time for the paper one, for the phase two paper one. You need to practice a lot so that you can could complete in within 1 hour.
Okay, and since judiciary does not have corporate law and securities law, so there, where did you practice MCQs and descriptive part from?
Ma'am, I had the MCQ booklet of the previous year, so I used that. And ma'am, basically, ma'am, prime focus was to just revise from the Bear Act,
Okay.
uh, because ma'am, I did give the mock Joe that was freely available on the exam website. So I used to score around 50 to 55. So basically, I was very disheartened at the beginning, but I did pretty well in the examination. I out of 70 question, I think I did four incorrect. 66 were my 66 correct. They were. So my main was to practice again and again. That
Right.
was the thing. No?
Okay. And then how was your interview preparation, your mock interview vis-a-vis actual interview?
Mock interview, ma'am, it gave me confidence. So, confidence is a thing that you have to gain out of these mock interviews. So, you have to learn the etiquettes, how you have to express yourself. If you don't know how you have to respond, that is the thing that you learn from the mock interviews. So, if you're fumbling a lot and you have to maintain a smile and you have to maintain a posture, so you have to take pause. So, all these things I've learned in the mock interview, and that helped me a lot. And ma'am, the interview questions also, although they do not come directly, but they give a broader understanding and also give the confidence कि हाँ आप कहीं से ये पूछो मतलब मेरे को इसका भी पता है ये है तो मैम so that was pretty much thing ma'am.
Okay. How was your actual interview? What kind of questions were asked?
Ma'am, first the question was asked from as I was working at Allahabad High Court. So I have written Prayagraj, my current location. So they asked me तीन चीज बताओ प्रयागराज के बारे में. So ये हिंदी में पूछा. So it was bilingual. So they
Okay.
were asking me Hindi, I was responding in Hindi.
ठीक है.
If they were asking me English, तो मैं English में जा रहा था. So मैम, so first was तीन चीज प्रयागराज के बारे में बताओ. So I told them. फिर बनारस का नाम कैसे पड़ा. I come from वाराणसी, तो वाराणसी का नाम कैसे पड़ा. So I told them about this. फिर मैम, from my profile they asked question and I pretty much know कि हाँ what are the question that we will ask. So हाई कोर्ट का मतलब आर्टिकल 32 एंड 226 में डिफरेंस क्या है.
ठीक है.
एंड मैम कि कैसे जजेस की सिलेक्शन होती है. तो मैम सेबी की पावर के बारे में पूछा था एंड हाई कोर्ट की पावर के बारे में पूछा था. So what is the difference between the two power? So they were trying to grill me on two three questions, although they were very easy side, or I know knew them, so that became easy. So ma'am, they did try to grill me on three topics. That was this key territorial jurisdiction, subject matter jurisdiction of SEBI and High Court. So ma'am, there was a question with AI की AI का use क्या High Court में होता है. So this was a question, and there were fun question also कि अच्छा चाट बताओ बनारस में कौन सा अच्छा है, काशी काशी चाट या टीना चाट. So ma'am, it became much more interactive in the second half,
Okay.
and ma'am, they asked कि recent news बताओ, कोई सेबी से कोई केस या कोई जजमेंट में पड़ा पड़ा हुआ है. तो आई वाज नॉट एबल टू रिकॉल. सो मैम उसी में मैंने थोड़ा अपना इंटरव्यू को अपने साइड घुमा लिया. मैं तो मतलब आई एम नॉट अवेयर बट आई रेड अ जजमेंट ऑफ 2022. मैम जैसे ही मैंने ये बोला तो बोला हाँ ठीक है बताओ, तो 2012 का. तो मैम आई टोल्ड देम अबाउट द अभिजीत राजन केस.
Okay.
तो आई डिस्कस्ड दिस इन डिटेल, एंड फिर दे आस्क्ड मी अबाउट सेबी वर्सेस सहारा केस. So, ma'am, I told them about, तो मैम जो भी मैं whatever I was saying, so they were asking कि ठीक है OFCD क्या है, ऑप्शनल फुल्ली कन्वर्टेबल डिवेंचर, उसके बारे में पूछ रहे हैं. पब्लिक कंपनी का, प्राइवेट कंपनी पब्लिक कंपनी का डेफिनेशन, सारी चीजें. तो मैम whatever I was saying, I need to be aware कि अब क्या पूछा जा सकता है. So
Right.
I was prepared with all these things, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So this was pretty much.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there were few more question. I think there were like five to six more question that I can we recall. मैम एक पावर था क्वाजे जुडिशियल क्वाजे एग्जीक्यूटिव, तो क्वाजा के बारे में पूछ रहे थे वो.
Okay.
और क्या होता है. फिर अपील के बारे में पूछा, फिर डिसगॉर्जमेंट के बारे में पूछा था मैम.
ठीक
तो
है.
सिक्योरिटी लॉ से इट वाज मच मोर इंक्लाइंड. पावर कहाँ से डिराइव करते हैं, तो 11B 11C और
Right.
सेबी एक्ट. फिर उन्होंने पूछा कंपनी से कहाँ से डिराइव करते हैं. सो मैम आई थिंक ये क्वेश्चन थे. अभी मेरे को और याद नहीं आ रहे हैं.
ठीक है. ये भी बहुत है. Many students will get
हाँ
an idea of this.
right,
So,
मैम.
Harsh, during your preparation, so you were there about 1.5 year into preparation, to 1.5 to 2 years.
मैम 1 year I would say, because I started for SEBI when the notification last time
Okay.
came.
So 1 year into your preparation, so were there any challenges that you faced?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there were a lot of challenges, a lot of issues, ma'am. So, ma'am, when I took a year gap from 2022 to 2023, but I could not take another year gap because I need to be because, ma'am, you feel very demotivated if you cannot clear the exam. So, ma'am, I gave in 2023 ECGC, where I went to the interview stage. Airport Authority I gave, where I was 2 3 marks say I was left behind. So I was disheartened, so I had to look for options. So I gave the examination of this High Court ka. So in December, the result came, and I started working over there. So during working, it was difficult, but I managed somehow. I used to manage my time very. I used to manage my time like in the morning. I used to wake up very early, ma'am. So I used to make sure that I give a 2 hour, 3 hour study in the morning, and at least a half an hour and 1 hour during the revision. So my timing was, ma'am, when I was working over there, it was from 9:30 to 6:30 or 7 p.m. So it was pretty much hectic. So, but I used to make sure that I study for at least for 2 to 3 hours on a daily basis. And examination के time में that helped me a lot.
Right, right. And Utkarsh, any key points, anything that you feel you can guide the aspirants about during their preparation?
Ma'am, if I could go stage wise, like phase one, phase two, then I will it will be easy for me. The as what happens, ma'am, in the phase one examination, ma'am, most of the students are left behind. Like 90% of the students gets eliminated,
Yes.
and 10 to 15% they get across for this phase two. So I would say for them, ki at least practice quantitative reasoning. There are certain topics that you should at least learn if you are if you are opting for law officer exam, because this is common in every exam. So this would help you. And secondly, I would say ki, keep a habit of going through current affairs like newspaper or anything, because that helps. Ma'am, I would tell you, ma'am, in the phase one, I just barely made in the phase one paper one. The cutoff was 30. I scored 30.5. And when I saw the result, मैम, मतलब मेरी हवा निकल गई थी मैम कि क्या कर दिया मैंने. अगर थोड़ा सा एक भी गलत होता तो मैं आज बैठा नहीं होता यहाँ पर. And it
Yeah.
was because, ma'am, I could not get time because I was working, so I could not practice for quant and GA or quant and reasoning. But my GA was very good. So out of 13 questions that I attempted, 12 was right. So that helped me.
Okay. And
So I would say कि GA की habit डाल लो. And ma'am, for the law portion, for the paper one, if you read where at once or twice, you're done. You're good to go.
right.
For the paper two, I would say, ma'am, कि there are certain topics in essay that particularly from the current affairs वो खुद से आइडेंटिफाई करो या इवन मिल जाएंगे यूट्यूब रिसोर्सेस। सो उनको प्रैक्टिस कर लो, 7 से 8 टॉपिक, स्टैटिक्स भी और जो चल रहे हैं। इफ यू प्रैक्टिस देम यू विल गेट इट। ऐसे अगर तुमने कर लिया है, अगर एक भी फंस जाएगा तो पेपर वन तुम्हारा निकल जाएगा, मतलब पेपर वन ऑफ, हाँ, फेज टू पेपर वन। फॉर पेपर टू आई वुड से मैम, इफ समवन इज स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम राइट अवे एज इन अगर 1-2 महीने में स्टार्ट करता है, आई वुड से कि जो वीक पार्ट है, इफ दे हैवंट read कॉर्पोरेट लॉ या क्रिमिनल लॉ वट एवर इट इज, एंड मैम रिवीजन रिवीजन विल हेल्प यू। रिवीजन ही ऐसा होता है दैट इंक्रीजेज योर एक्यूरेसी। सो आई वुड से कि हाँ मैम, ये आपको आपको बेरक से पढ़नी पड़ेंगी और अंडरस्टैंडिंग लानी पड़ेगी, बिकॉज इफ यू विल नॉट हैव अंडरस्टैंडिंग तो इन द इंटरव्यू फेस यू विल फेस डिफिकल्टी एंड इंटरव्यू मार्क्स मैटर।
Or and then what about the practice part? How they can go for practicing?
मैम प्रैक्टिसिंग के लिए वट एवर दे स्टडी, लाइक इफ दे आर स्टडिंग द चैप्टर 3 ऑफ कंपनी लॉ, सो प्रोस्पेक्टस के बारे में है, सेल्फ प्रोस्पेक्टस के बारे में है, सो इफ दे रीड इट अबाउट दिस, तो उसी को वो शाम के टाइम में या जब भी उनको लगे एक बार खुद से उसको लिखें। सो इफ दे विल राइट इन देयर इन वर्ड, सो दे विल गेट, सो दैट विल बी बेटर। तो कोई भी टॉपिक पढ़ रहे हैं, तो अगर वो लिखते हैं अपने लैंग्वेज में, उसके बाद अगर उसको चेक करके उसको ठीक कर लेते हैं, एआई का यूज कर लें, बिकॉज आई हैव यूज्ड एआई मैम।
Okay.
चैट जीपीटी का मैंने बहुत यूज किया था फॉर माय दिस ऐसे वैसे के पार्ट के लिए, इवन फॉर द लीगल के पार्ट के लिए भी किया था। तो
तो
मैम ये कर सकते हैं आप।
उससे हो जाएगा, ठीक है उत्कर्ष। So Utkarsh, anything else which is coming on the top of your head, which you can suggest to the aspirants?
मैम फॉर द कॉम्पिटेटिव एग्जाम आई वुड से मैम देयर आर फ्यू थिंग्स दैट यू नीड टू डू, इज दैट यू नीड टू वर्क हार्ड एंड यू नीड टू बी कंसिस्टेंट एंड मैम हैव पेशेंस। थिंग्स विल फॉल, बस अपना बेस्ट देते रहो, आ जाएगी, चीजें हो जाएंगी। सो जस्ट गिव योर बेस्ट और एंड ट्राई यूटिलाइजिंग एवरी मिनट ऑफ योर लाइफ जितना भी होता है, बिकॉज यही फेज है दैट यू, मतलब दे आर स्टार्टिंग फेज में। मैम मैं जनवरी में रिजल्ट नहीं आता, आई वुड नॉट हैव बीन, मतलब आई वुड नॉट हैव अ लग्जरी ऑफ गिविंग एनी अदर एग्जाम फ्रॉम नाउ ऑनवर्ड्स, बिकॉज दिस वाज माय लास्ट एग्जाम। आईबीपीएस वाज माय बैकअप, ऑल्दो आईबीपीएस में आई स्कोर्ड, आई थिंक स्कोर मेरा उसमें भी ठीक बन रहे हैं। आई थिंक आई एम स्कोरिंग अराउंड 52। सो मेरे पास लिमिटेड ऑप्शन है, कीप लिमिटेड ऑप्शन, और इफ नॉट आई वुड से कि जो 1-2 साल है अच्छे से दे लो, थिंग्स विल हैपन।
Things will fall in place.
यस मैम।
Yes, okay. So that's great, Utkarsh. That was great advice and great strategy you opted for. So you took time. First of all, you gave time to your preparation. Then you joined a job and kept on revising along with the job. So this is also a good way of going into preparation. So that will be all from my end, Utkarsh. Thank you so much
यस
for
मैम।
sharing your journey with us. And once again, congratulations from the entire team. Wish you all the best for your
थैंक
future.
यू मैम।
Thank you.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम। थैंक यू।